When folks think of fall, they usually think of chili. And when we think of chili, we think about another reason to fire up the smoker. Welcome back to another episode of Blind Grilling. My name is Chris Peltz and I am the most interesting griller in the world. And today we are going to be smoking a pot of chili on the Big Green Egg. Folks, this is going to be not only simple, but it's going to be amazing. In fact, I'm going to share with you the basics of an award-winning chili that I have made in years past. So one of the first things we're going to do is we've got our cast iron skillet. Now this is a deep skillet because we're making a small batch. If you got a Dutch oven, cast iron Dutch oven, that works really well for large batches. But this is just a smaller one for what we're doing today. We're going to spray it. I usually spray it with duck fat, but we're out of duck fat. Imagine that. So now what we're going to do, once we get that sprayed, is we're going to put this in our Big Green Egg and start heating it up. We've got our Big Green Egg set at 350 degrees. Our flame boss is holding it steady. We've got our rack out, but our regular cooking grate is out. But our plate setter is still in the egg, our deflector. So we're going to set this cast iron deep skillet just right there on top of that and let it heat up. And while it's heating up, we're going to go ahead and we've got 1 pound, about 1 pound and 2 ounces to be exact, of burger. Just kind of break this up. We're going to start cooking our burger right here on the egg. I'll come back in a few minutes, stir it up, and check on it. We're going to go ahead and stir up our meat that we've got in here in the egg. You can already tell it's heating up, it's breaking down. So we're going to go ahead and add a few things to this while the meat's cooking. Right here we've got a red onion, and then we've got a jalapeno that we've chopped up from our garden. I'm going to add that as well. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit of seasoning also. And for our seasoning, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a little bit of garlic powder. Feel my way around here. And then we're going to do some dark chili powder and some light chili powder. Get that stirred up. We're going to get the lid closed. Again, right now on the egg we're running about 350 degrees. Once we get the meat cooked and everything added, we'll turn down the heat and lower that heat and let it cook a little bit lower, and also think about putting a lid on it. So folks, as a general rule, I'll give you the recipe basically, and then there's some improvising you can do. For every pound of meat, you're going to add, it's 1, 1, 1, 1. So 1 pound of meat, 1 can of tomato sauce, 1 can of beans, and 1 can of stewed tomatoes. Now, whether you use black beans or whether you use chili ready beans, is up to you. We're actually going to use both. That's where we're going to do some improvising. So we're going to start by opening up this tomato sauce. While that's opening, we're going to go ahead and add our beans, give this a stir and add our beans. Now, for those who are blind or visually impaired, if you're wondering, what about knowing when the meat is done? Because, usually you want all the red out of that meat. Well, the great thing about chili is because you're letting it continually cook. So, it's all right. And so as long as it's mostly done, even if it still needs a little bit of red in there, first of all, since it's beef, it's not that big a deal. Now, if you did pork, then you want to make sure you definitely got it cooked through. But it'll continue to cook. That's the great thing about doing the chili this way. So we get our tomato sauce added. And then we're going to add a can of stewed tomatoes. Now, if you got homemade stewed tomatoes, that's awesome, even better. But all this is going to come together and taste amazing. While we're getting those stewed tomatoes, there are all kinds of chili seasonings. We've got McCormick's. Sucklebusters makes a really good chili seasoning as well, Texas chili seasoning. But that McCormick's really, I think, is just a good staple for most folks, and they're going to be able to find that just about anywhere. These stewed tomatoes. Now you can also drain some of this, but since we've got it in the smoker and we're going to leave it uncovered for a little while, and kind of simmer all that down, and it'll start to thicken up as well. So we're going to stop right there. We'll come back and check it if we want or need more tomato sauce. We can add it. Otherwise, we'll just kind of let this go and simmer a little bit. And we're going to turn the flame boss down and get that down to probably around 300 degrees and just let her simmer for a while and cook everything through, and it'll be about ready to eat. Folks, check out our smoked chili. This stuff is just, it's going to be great. We're going to give a taste test, see how we did. Still pretty hot. Oh yeah. The smokiness is not overpowering, but it comes through perfect. And again, it's one of those things you can just let simmer and go, just like you do chili. It's even always better the next day, but this has been simmering for quite a while, well over an hour, and oh man, that's good. We're going to get some cornbread, we're going to add it to our chili, and we are going to eat good tonight. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a try, comment below, let me know what you think, hit that subscribe button. Remember, if you're looking, you ain't cooking.